All right, good morning. This is Jordan Nielsen, the host of Real Estate Pros. Ash, you're killing me, man. This is Jordan Nielsen, host of Real Estate Pros, and today on this segment we have a special guest. This is Craig Ahlstrom, but actually you go by something else, right? Your dad's name is Craig too. I actually always knew you as Craig, but other people in the spirit, like Danny, he calls you something else, Murph.
A lot of people call me Murph.
Oh, Murph.
Right,
okay.
yeah, Danny calls me Murph. A lot of people that have known me for a while know me by Murph.
All right, Murph. All right. We'll keep it professional here. Craig Ahlstrom Jr. And today on the show, we're going to be talking about senior living real estate development. And Craig actually has been a real estate in the real estate development for seniors, that specific segment, for quite some time. So I'll give you a minute or so just to kind of introduce yourself, talk to us about your background and yourself.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Cool. That's
introduce
great.
yourself.
Thanks, Jordan, for having me here. So, as Jordan said, I've been working with seniors for a while. It's kind of in the blood of my family. My grandpa Ross developed a lot of senior living real estate for like 50 plus years. And
I think a lot of people can recognize Farnsworth out there. So if you say Farnsworth, even though that's not your last name, your mom's a Farnsworth, right? So I think a lot of real estate agents and people seen Farnsworth, real estate, and all these different things. So that's where Craig comes from.
Yeah, so over 50 plus years, he developed senior living communities in the East Valley. And my dad has been working with Farnsworth Development for a very long time too. I think 25, 30 years now. They never did any assisted living. They developed independent living or single family homes, condos, townhomes wrapped around golf courses and other amenities. 3,000 to 4,000 home community subdivisions, and they've done 4 large ones over the last 50 plus years. And so over the years, especially over the last 10 or 15 years, a lot of the seniors that live inside of their subdivisions have said, hey, when it comes time for us to need like higher levels of care, we're having to leave the communities where all of our friends are, and you guys don't have any services for us as we age to get, some type of health care. And so my grandpa and dad thought it would be a great idea. They started probably 7-8 years ago developing their first assisted living community. And at that time, I had finished my undergrad and had jumped into ASU to get a master's in real estate development, and I also received my MBA from ASU as well. And it was perfect timing for me to come into the assisted living side of the business and really understand that and work that. So we built our first assisted living property. We opened our doors in January of 2013, and it's called The Summit. And it's on Signal Butte between Baseline and Guadalupe. And I learned the assisted living world in that community. And we specialized out there of taking care of people that have dementia. They call it memory care these days.
And so you got to lock them all inside, right?
Secured, we say secured. It's secured.
Secure. All right, there we go.
Terrible.
Hey, that just sounds bad. It
sounds terrible.
Just wording.
That's right. I'm just kidding. No, so that's how we got our start. And later on, I know some of the people watching will see some pictures of our latest shop, our latest community that we opened up. It's pretty nice. But we've learned it, and we've cut our teeth, just figuring things out. Partnered with some great people, and I definitely understand the operational side of the business. And part of that whole deal, which was cool, was we had to go out and raise money. We had to get investors. We had to manage a construction project, and then started the operation. So even before you start operating, you're like working for a year or two,
right,
to get to that point. So anyway, so that's how our family ended up developing assisted living, and that's kind of how we got our start. And then I was the family member that got to jump in and crank and help get it started. So yeah, that's the story of the Summit, and it's right inside of Sunland Springs Village, which is the latest retirement community that Farnsworth has developed. So it's like right there, surrounded by those homes, and we have some good synergies with the community there.
Yeah, awesome, cool, man. So thanks for being on the show. It sounds like you know quite a bit about real estate development, and then in your specific niche of senior living. So today we're going to be talking about a little bit of just things on that specific topic, because I think there's value in sharing, because I think a lot of people may not know what's going on, what are the trends in senior living specifically. And we know that, baby boomers are starting to retire, and there's a lot of them. So they're going to be looking for options and different things, as they retire. So, right now, what are you seeing trend-wise options for seniors?
So in the Valley here, in the Phoenix Metro, we currently have 5 properties. The East Mesa property and the management company that I work with, we manage 4 others that spread from East Mesa all the way to Sun City West. So I spend a good portion of my week bouncing between those properties. So we have a pretty good feel for what's out there, and we have to keep our thumb on kind of the market data and the trends. It's really important for us. But assisted living here in Arizona has a few different levels, and you have low-level care where people don't need a ton of needs, but they just need a little bit of help. And then you have the highest level is called directed care. And there are a lot of people that know that the silver tsunami is about to hit, that the baby boomers are aging. 10,000 seniors a day are turning 65. That stat is quoted so much in our industry. Gets everybody excited. And so it seems like everybody is jumping into the game. In our world, right? In our world, it seems like we get a call every day that says, hey, I got a piece of property in Phoenix somewhere, wondering what to do with it. And I think senior living is what we got to do because that's where the future's headed. So it's getting a lot of interest. I'm not sure that's the end all for every piece of property.
Yeah.
For us, it feels like a lot of people think that any property that's vacant can work as a senior living or assisted living property. Some can, some can't. There's also, I was telling you before the show, there's also single family residences throughout the entire metro, Phoenix Metro, that all do assisted living. So many of the agents and brokers that you deal with, I'm sure they know this. There's homes in all of our neighborhoods that are licensed by the State Department of Health that have 8 to 10 people living there and receiving care. They have employees, they have round the clock, food and socialization, and it's a little bit of a lesser price point than some of the larger kind of assisted living communities.
I see those more as like resort style stuff. These one off or like a little family, but if you want like the social experience.
Yeah. You're right. There's such a wide range of price points too. And all of us will need that. And our company, it's called a Vista Senior Living. We offer a whole bunch of different price points from like, $2,500 a month all the way up to $6,000. So there's such a wide range and it depends on people's finances. It depends on what they're looking for. But that's across the whole valley. So a lot of these single family homes, you're right, I might get in trouble for saying this, but they don't have a great social component, but they do meet some of the basic needs that humans have.
Sure, yeah.
So for certain people that can't spend $5 or $6 or $7 grand a month, they want their loved one to be checked on, to stay clean and smiling. It's not a bad option. There's some homes like that in all of our neighborhoods that do a great job. There's some that you'd want to stay away from, but there's some that do a great job.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there's a wide variety of options in the market, and there will be more coming very soon.
So from options, so we talked a little bit about the single-family homes where they convert them into those, and then they go up to the full-on resort, which is we'll show some pictures of some of your guys' your stuff where it has like a theater and different things in it, which are pretty cool. But let's talk first about Phoenix and the U.S. Because we're getting into that topic of, what does that look like in the future? We know this, what did you call it? The silver
tsunami is
the
something that people say a lot. Yeah.
Silver tsunami. Man, that makes it sound like, my gray hair is coming in. It's about to
going
come
gray
in.
yet.
Oh, bro, look at my beard. People
funny.
take me seriously now because I got, I don't look
wise.
so young.
You look wise now.
I look wise.
You got some
I earn these
age.
gray hairs.
That's
man.
right.
No, I'm just kidding.
So Phoenix and the U.S. Are you wanting me to talk a little bit about?
Yeah. Let's talk about what it currently looks like and what it will look like in the near future and maybe further out. And what does retirement look like right now in Phoenix and the trends and U.S. wide.
So there's a lot of national organizations that track this stuff, and one that tracks this the industry trends for senior living is called the NIC, National Investment Center for Senior Housing. And I was reading through some reports recently, and senior living, like every industry, like real estate, has its cycles, right? And the last couple of years has been pretty strong for senior living. Anybody that built senior living had some pretty solid occupancies, not a lot of vacancies. A lot of good things were happening in seniors housing. And right now, across the country, there's a few major metros that people are concerned about because there's a ton of supply that's being added. And right now, people are saying, where are the customers going to come from to move in and pay these bills for these large buildings? So there's places like Texas that people are going, what's going on? Chicago, Florida. There's some major metros that are adding a ton of supply. And what happens when you add a lot of supply? The natural consequence of that is there's more options for the customer, and so a lot of existing communities lose residents, and so the occupancies drop. And right now, the first quarter of this year and the end of last year, assisted living occupancies have dropped a little bit. And I think that's a sign of the next year or two being a little bit tricky for those of us that are in the game. It's good for the consumer because they have more options, and a lot of times to compete, we have to drop our prices a little bit. Prices have to come down a little bit. And so I see that in Phoenix happening over the next year or two until the real true silver tsunami catches up, because there's a huge wave that's about to crash, but it's not totally here yet. A lot of economists like at Nick say in the next 4 to 5 years, that big number is going to exist. But up until the 5-year mark, we got to survive.
Sure, yeah.
And there's a lot of additional options for seniors right now being
built. It's a lot of
built.
risk and reward. You got to get through as people are expanding for this, but then once it hits, then it should be a...
It's right. The risk reward is really important to think about, those that come in and develop senior living, because one of our properties right now, even to the point where we're at now, where we're going to start moving people into this property that your viewers are going to see in a couple minutes, we've been working on that for 2 to 3 years. How much in an economy can happen in 2 to 3 years to make a product tank or make a product succeed? You have labor issues, you have food shortages, you have union issues, not so much here, but just globally. You have so many things that could happen that could throw you off in that time before you even can move people in.
Yeah.
And so it's a high risk deal, but it's needed. That's what keeps us at Avista going back. It's needed. We got to have good people in the industry to care for the seniors, and so we could just kind of go, why not us?
Yep.
But anyways, that's kind of where Phoenix and the U.S. is looking right now. A little bit of a softening, but I think that.
But then in the 5-6 year windows, we're going to see that actually hit scale, like massive amounts of retirements.
It could
per year. So we talked quite a bit about your own developments. Well, we'll go ahead and talk about those right now, man. So let's see. We're going to be putting some pictures on the screen here, and just kind of talk us through what these are.
So this is our latest community. As I said, we have 5.
Man, that's impressive. I wouldn't mind retiring there. That's nice.
Yeah. So
that's better than what I got right now.
What we did with this one is we wanted to make sure, and I think you said it before we even started, what are the living places for the future going to look like?
Yeah.
Like what is Jordan and Craig or Murph going to move into at some future date, right? We're
not gonna play bingo. That's what I'm taking. We were joking about that, bingo. Craig's gonna educate us about what the bingo looks like, right?
If we're calling bingo when we're there, we're not gonna last that long.
Disappointed. I was looking for a bingo thing.
That's right.
Chart right here.
So amenity rich and hotel like. I look at this property as kind of a really nice hotel with a care component. Nice. So we have a nice movie theater. We worked with a company out of San Francisco that gave us our design ideas, and a lot of local contractors who put the finishing touches on everything. So it's a really awesome surround sound, acoustical tiles, kind of like you have in here on the walls. The screen is massive. It's really fun to be in there, and we feel like we want our residents to use that with their families. We want their grandkids to come over and say, hey,
hang
let's
out
go
with
to
grandma
the
and
movie.
grandpa, and they don't have to go.
That's right.
So
many people are so scared to like go visit grandma and grandpa, and a lot of the assisted living, the old stuff, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
Oh, I don't want to go there. But like we built something that hopefully people will want to be at. So this is the movie theater, one of the amenities. Pretty cool.
All right, let's see.
What's next?
Picture number 2.
Okay, cool. Now this is a really important piece of designing these days too. One of the design trends in senior housing that people talk about a lot is multi-generational development.
Mm-hmm.
It's incorporating designs into your buildings where young kids or grandkids or just, some assisted living communities are building full-blown like preschools inside.
Really?
Them. So like the kids can come.
Yeah.
It's really fun for the seniors and the people living there to interact with the kids, to see the kids. And again, we want them to come. So what you can't see is we put an Xbox on that wall right there. So we got a big Xbox. We got computer stations coming on those white desks. We have USB charging ports for the iPhones and the Apple products. We have that whole black wall up there is a chalk wall.
Oh, wow.
So if you go in there today, you'll see kids up there drawing and having fun. So
and where is this development at?
Signal Butte between Baseline and Guadalupe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anybody listening that wants to come take a tour, give me a shout. I'd love to show you through it. So yeah, that's just one of the kids' corners. This is the main entryway, and this ended up being super nice. And like I said, it just kind of feels like a hotel, and that's kind of when you walk around the whole property, you feel like it's kind of a nice,
it's very
nice
impressive
hotel
for a senior development.
This
is
that's
the
right.
outside.
This is the outside. So you got 108 apartments. You have a memory care, or the one that we started in January of 2013. You can't see, but it's connected to this building.
Mm-hmm.
You see the hallway right there on the left. And so the purpose of that is people can start in their homes at Sunland Springs or around the community in an independent living environment, no care, no nothing. As their needs shift, they can move into this, which is a lower level of care, but it still has some people there that can help. And then when your needs change even further, you have another option to go to. So you don't have to like ever move again.
Right.
And call it home. This is the courtyard. Ended up being really nice. I worked a lot with Craig Sr., my dad, on the design. We're partners on this project with a couple of other people, and so a lot of what he thought would be awesome is sprinkled through here.
This courtyard is like right in the center of it.
It's right in the center. Yeah.
Is there built? Nobody can wander off. Just it's
yeah.
probably designed. It looks like a resort, but it's probably designed intentionally. For the clientele.
For sure. After hours security and such, keeping people safe. These are cool too. We put those patio doors to the courtyard, so the people that have units on the first floor can open their slider and walk right on out.
Oh, those are cool.
Have kind of like their own backyard. So barbecue grills and fire pits, and I just want it to be a place where people come and hang. So I think it will serve that purpose.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, thanks for coming on the show, giving us some information about the current state of senior living in real estate. I think it's something that is overlooked a lot of times. When we're talking about real estate, it's like, single family properties, and
Right.
but there's this whole other segment to the market that is probably going to be more in the conversation in the coming years because of all the baby boomers that are going to be retiring. So
we have to find a way to take care of the seniors, and it's no easy feat, right? It's very tricky. It's complicated. We got to give them good options, and we got to attract good people to the industry.
Right.
I see a lot of the people on your show. I'm like, hey, why don't you stop doing real estate and come work in senior living?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. So anyways, but no, it's a great industry and it's much needed. So
awesome. Well, thanks for being on the show, Craig.
Thanks, Jordan.
If somebody's interested in finding out more information about this particular project or another one that you guys are working on, how do they get a hold of you?
So you can call what should I do? Email address. Cell phone, I don't know. Cell phone's 789-1013. So give me a shout. Love to tour you through properties, teach anybody anything they'd like to know. But 480-789-1013. And the website to that property is www.thesummitaz.com. thesummitaz.com. You can find our information on that
the
site
resort
as well.
style living.
The resort
the only
style
thing
living.
that's missing is the swimming pool, man.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
I get it.
But we don't only do the high end stuff too. I mean, we have a wide variety of price points and products. So
Sure,
we can help people navigate the whole
so
spectrum.
from the single family, senior living to memory care to the assisted living facilities. So.
For sure. So even when people run out of money, you can't pay anymore. We have options that are government subsidized that we can help people have an adequate place to live.
Sure.
So there's a lot of options.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah. Well, this is another episode of Real Estate Pros on Lister Pros TV. Thanks again for joining us, Craig, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate it, man.
Good job, Craig. Boom.